Fragrance Rocks. Trust me, you've been waiting for these. Aromatherapy for your soul and for your love life. I've been so busy, but I've been thinking. Experience the I Am Melanin Magic difference by going to our website www.IamMelaninMagic.com and purchasing your products today. I am Melanin Magic, and so are
Beauty
you.
Tips and Potpourri, the channel where we get it all in. You can also learn more about the I Am Melanin Magic brand. Thank you for stopping by. Hello, and welcome to our channel. Welcome to Tanesia's Locs, Beauty Tips and Potpourri. If you are new, you have found your home. And if you are one of my OGs, one of my kindred spirits, welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. Y'all, today we're going to be talking about a few of the comments that were left on the channel regarding the video that I posted sharing some excerpts from Miss Cornwell's her book, which currently I believe is out of print. It's very difficult to come by. The copy that I got some time ago that I purchased looks like it was an out of print or it was a no longer in circulation old library book. I bought it some time ago, probably a year ago, I think. I bought it, but I did decide to share some bits and pieces of it. So I asked and I invited you all to come onto the channel and to share your thoughts. We will be going through that book every other video for the next few months. So if you catch my videos, looks like on either a Wednesday or a Sunday, then we'll be going over that. I will make the thumbnail a similar thumbnail so that you recognize it. And I will name the videos part 1, part 2, part 3, so forth and so on. So let's go ahead and dig in. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that we can circulate these videos and you can show your love, show your love, show your love. For those of you who have more questions about the UNCI, a few of you have contacted me already, and I have already filmed a video, which I will put up here so that you know how this beautiful fragrance rock works. Let me tell you, you will never burn another incense or put another doggone Glade plug-in or one of those other things in your outlets as long as you're using this stuff. So anyway, I on the Sparrow 2 days ago, this is what I on the Sparrow said. I called out my technician for marrying many of my locks with no approval or consent or even a word of notice from her beforehand. After a retie, I found 6 married locks that were still twinning. I also noticed others that were married. However, she had snipped one of them to disguise. Y'all, this is like so blatantly disrespectful and neglectful and disregardful of a person's autonomy over their hair. I cannot believe this. I can tell because when you marry a lock during the retie, the root, if you pick through it and examine it, will be 2 smaller established strands twisted together at the root and then tied together with a tool. I successfully untied 4 of them and salvaged 8 locks. Whoa, boy, would I like to hear from you, Sparrow, how long it took you to untie those, because I'm sure there were several rotations before you were able to get to it and notice it. So, I mean, it's a headache after one rotation to try and disconnect them. It's a mess. I was working on some parts of my hair because it's time for me to get a retie next week. And I had a lock that had been retied the last time I was fooling with my hair, and I was not able to get Naima to come down here to do it. So I was fooling with it, and I just felt my way around because I couldn't see the lock. It was in the center of my head, and I had tried it 2 times already without success, but I kept feeling my way around, and somehow I got that damn thing out. I don't know how I did it. She said 2 of them she couldn't salvage. So that means if I wouldn't have attempted to untie, I would have 12 locks that mysteriously turned into 6. That's a lot of daggone locks. She had been my technician for a year, and I had all my reties done by her. I fear that she has married many locks during reties without my knowledge over time. I think you're right about that. She knew I wanted small, tiny locks, but by marrying them, she turned them into medium-sized and bulky locks. That is so not cool. Like, that is just so not cool. I'm not talking as loud as I normally do, so I'm going to move this over some to try to get you a little bit closer. All right? Yeah, okay. This is awful. In the untying of the locks, what I found was that the two that she married, she actually didn't even retie at all. Girl, Sparrow, you got your hands in your hair. You know what's going on with your hair. You said two, she didn't even retie at all. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Okay, so she didn't even retie them at all. So here we go right here. In the untying of the locks, I found that she married, she actually didn't even retie at all. She just took two locks and twisted and or braided them together at the root. Mind you, she would frequently use scissors throughout my reties. And once when I asked what she was cutting, she would say she cut something that was stuck together. Sidebar, remember when I went to the lady in Macon and she had the scissors in my hair, y'all? This is when I thought I was going to be able to find somebody an hour from where I live since I moved out to the boondocks. She had the scissors going through my hair, and I have to wonder what she was really doing because I couldn't see. And being that she married 6 of my locks that day that I found later on that evening or the next day, whatever the video said, I cannot believe these people that they think that's okay. This just goes to show you it doesn't matter whether it's the doctor's office, whether it's somebody at the bank or behind the cash register at Walmart or your loctician or anybody. Everybody has a way that they deal with the public, and everybody has an ethical standard that comes from within that they adhere to. And it doesn't matter what you're paying them, who you are, and how you're interacting with them. If they don't have a certain level of ethics and they are not conscientious, it's not going to matter. They're liable to do anything. Now that I have the evidence, she was marrying my locks. I have a suspicion that all along she was snipping off extra locks after marrying them. Yeah, y'all, because when you marry a lock, I married one of mine. When you marry a lock, you have 2 dragons, right? They call them dragon heads, I think. And I'm at a point where I'm probably going to snip one of my dragon heads and use the other one for an extension, maybe somewhere up here where I'm trying to grow more hair, or somewhere in the back where I've snipped this one by mistake so I could attach it to this. But I figured, what's the point of having the dragon head for me? Because it's just going to weigh my hair down more. My hair is getting long, so I'm trying to decrease the amount of weight. I can't believe this. Wow. Mind you, oh, she called her out. This is what she said. I got no apology when I called her out, just an explanation of why she did it, and also a comment that she just forgot to ask me. How dare you forget? Mind you, it takes her 2 separate days to retie my hair, and these are 6 to 8 hours each day. So if you're spending upwards of 12 hours to retie somebody's hair, there's no reason you should be combining anything, because you have more than enough time to get the job done right. What do y'all say? Put it in the comments. People don't like admitting wrongdoing, yep. Even though being dishonest about wrongdoing gives you a reputation of being a deceiver and a horrible professional. I'm going to find that text one day, y'all, that the loctician sent me when I sent pictures of the married locks. And y'all know I was very professional. I don't go in on people unless they start to act crazy. If you give me crazy, I'm going to give you crazy back after I try to be sensible and take the Sarato Mustaqim, the straight path. I'm going to try to take straight path first. But then if you act crazy, you want to be a niggly bear, I'm going to have to go in on you, okay? So I was very diplomatic, and the response that I got was very arrogant. It was very arrogant. I couldn't believe, like, no, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. Please come back in and let me help you untangle them, or please come back in and let me go through your hair to make sure that there are no more married locks. That's what I would have done. I would have corrected the situation, but these people are so arrogant. They're so self-centered. They're so narcissistic. Her response was something like, well, you know, I haven't been doing this that long, but trust me, in a few more years, I'm going to be the best loctician in the whole country. Okay. Yeah, sure. So she says people don't want to be wrong. And even though being dishonest about wrongdoing gives you a reputation of being a deceiver and a horrible professional, Sparrow, I agree. I started to realize that she may have lost several clients over time because she was just starting out when I met her and she planned to make a career of it. But she never seemed to be able to get off the ground and be full-time with it, and ended up getting a full-time job and had to do hair on the side of that. And see, that's what happens. God don't like ugly. When you don't do right and you don't try to give unquestionable service, or you don't try to make amends for people who are dissatisfied. Granted, you can't please everybody. You're never going to be able to please everybody. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you're going to be blessed. When you don't do right by people, then there's some repercussions to that. There's some consequences. Messing up on someone's hair, although not the end of the world, is a thing you cannot come back from, especially Sisterlocks. Sparrow, girl, I love you for this commentary because you're so right. You can't come back from it when somebody messes your locks up and they marry some stuff that's not supposed to be married, or you can't get the married locks out and you end up cutting one and thinning the other one out, or you end up having to have a lopsided grid because somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do, or they didn't do what you would have expected them to do. It's okay if you're marrying a lock and you're given permission to do that. Like, you know, okay. When I first got my install, I told y'all, you know, they do certain sizes in certain parts of the head. And I had some ones that were too big for me up in here. And maybe a couple right around this area. And I separated them. I separated these. I asked Fraj, can she go in? These mostly I added from extra hair, growing some extra hair. I added some around the front. I got about 2 or 3 that I added up here. But I asked Fraj to separate them for me. She gave me the spiel. She let me know that it would affect my grid, blasey, 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 la-da-dee, la-da-da. I was okay with that because I wanted a uniform look, and especially around this part of my hair that was visible, I wanted them all to be very small. And she told me that they had a potential of being too small and that it could down the line increase the breakage. I took it. I took it. That was mine to take. That was my decision. That was my autonomy. That was on me. But you cannot go in and screw up somebody's hair and not be okay with apologizing that you did something wrong. A bad technician can actually cause you to lose hair over time, and that is not okay. Girl, I love you. Girl, I got to respond to you. Oh, I love your share. Oh, my goodness. We love you, Sparrow. I'm just letting you know that I'm putting this in the next video. So if you do happen to see the comments, you'll know that I'm giving you a shout out. We love you and we appreciate the share. We really do. Then we have my consultant won't use the tool anymore because using it takes too long. She found something quicker for her. That book, oh, she's referring to the Sisterlocks book. That book, I feel, should be updated if it's not out of print. Yeah, it should be updated. I could understand her frustration at the time she wrote the book. And we can commiserate. Like, I'm not an unreasonable person. I agree with you on that. I can understand she's come out with something and she's a fearful person thinking that everybody wants to steal it. And while that may be true, I still will say we live in an abundant universe and there's enough out here for everybody. And, you know, hey, we're here to learn on this planet, and I believe also there's a certain amount of everything that is a part of the collective consciousness. And so is anything ever really new and ever really invented? But I understand what you're saying, and I can definitely commiserate, or I can definitely empathize with what you're saying, because she seemed to feel very strongly in that section in the book about looking out for the interests of the client. That is what she said was her motivation for getting the trademark. But again, I'm not sure if the system, to me, is that's a patent or that's a little bit different. There's another sister who comments. We'll wait to see what she has to say. So let's get into it. I love it because let's get into it. INTUIT, like intuition. But this was years ago. Oh, she says, I can understand her frustration at the time she wrote that book. I've seen the name used by people who didn't have that training at all. But this was years ago. But her brand helped broaden the methods and ways people do locks. Yes, it opened the door for greater variety of methods that you didn't see back then. Thank you. Let's get into it. Because at the end of the day, She was a pioneer. At the end of the day, she packaged something. She was smart enough to package something that she had gone back and forth with in her own hair journey. She perfected it. She packaged it. And because she packaged it, it was forced out and put out into the forefront for all of us to see. If she had just sat on her doorstep and braided the cornrows or braided the hair like what we've done, it would have not become a thing. But it became a thing, and I'm grateful to her for that. We can embrace that. That's a beautiful thing. I give her all the credit for that, because that had to take a lot. If you recall, in a part of the book, she says something about she had to create the demand for it, because when she took it to natural hair salons, they weren't interested. It was a money thing. They couldn't understand how they could make money by doing that, because it took so long. For others, they just were not ready to embrace it. So she had to create a demand. So a lot of work went into this. She manifested this. Congratulations, Dr. Cornwell. Now we have Kiki Ann here, who's given us, well, she's given us a lot. Thank you, Kiki Ann. We're going to read this. Let's see what Miss Kiki Ann has to say. I hope I said it right. KK Ann or Kiki Ann. The trademark/copyright agreement is available publicly on the Sisterlocks website. Okay, that's news. The agreement does not say the things that I hear consultants claiming it says. Aha. See, there's another gray area there. I think it's simply a case of consultants not understanding what the contract actually says versus what someone told them it says. You are correct that trademarks apply to names. Trademarks mean the owner controls the use of that name. Trade secrets are totally different. Yeah, patented processes, trade secrets, that's what I was looking for. Trade secrets are totally different. Consultants appear to believe that the processes are trade secrets, which are a total other beast. Yeah, so the consultants, she's saying, are confusing trademark with trade secrets. I cannot see that Sisterlocks has ever claimed that their processes are trade secret, only that they have a trademark and a copyright. Now, copyright, we copyright intellectual material. So maybe she's copyrighted the manuals or something. I don't know. The trademark is the name. And so, but in the book, I wish I had the book with me, she referred to the process as being protected. So we need to look into that. It is unclear what is copywritten, but since copyrights only apply to original works of authorship, it seems reasonable that you cannot share their printed materials or make copies of their printed materials. I also hear the term patented applied to the tool. I have never seen Sisterlocks refer to their tool as patented. So you know what probably has happened? It's just like this sister is saying. Love you for chiming in, Kiki Ann. They created such secrecy around whatever she's mentioning, something about the contract and whatever else might be copyright, that the people themselves became confused or duped by it. And so they began to be secretive about everything, including the tool, including whether or not you could watch them do the hair. Wow. Trademarks mean the owner controls the use of that name. Trade secrets are totally different. Consultants appear to believe that the processes are trade secrets, which are a total other beast. I said that. I cannot see that Sisterlocks has ever claimed that their processes are trade secret, only that they have a trademark, okay, and copyright. It is unclear what is copywritten, but since copyrights only apply to original works of authorship, it seems reasonable that you cannot share their printed materials or make copies of their printed materials. She's going into the part about the tool. I'm sorry, I'm repeating. She's talking about the tool. I've never seen the Sisterlocks or seen Sisterlocks refer to their tool as patented. Does not mean they haven't, just that I can't find a reference. Even if it were patented, it would mean that you cannot duplicate the design. Not that you have to hide the tool from your customers, which is what they be doing. In a public patents search, I could not find a patent under the name Sisterlocks. Went out. Thank you, Kiki Ann. In contrast, the Microlocks tool is patented since 2004 and publicly searchable. Wow, so Joanne really could have and should have had her tool patented if she was wanting that, because how many tools in my video where I do 11 Sisterlocks tools, there are about 4 or 5 of them that look just like her tool but are made of different materials. or look very similar. All right. In contrast, the Nappy Locks tool is patented since 2004 and publicly searchable. I started my little sister's micro/small interlocks using the Nappy Locks tool, book and DVD, back in 2011-ish. So I researched a lot about this back then and just doing my due diligence and deciding if I was going to take the Sisterlocks course or not. It is important for consultants to read and understand these agreements because they may be limiting their business potential by not understanding the four corners of that contract and giving the corporation more power over their business than what is warranted by the contract. And that is true. For example, and I don't know how this would apply to people who took the class, who took the Sisterlocks retightening class, for example. There were two sisters who I remember, one in particular, I remember reading this out of her mouth, that she was called by the Sisterlocks organization and asked to take her video down because she was talking about her retightening. And because she had happened to have taken the class, based on what Kiki is saying, suppose she took the class, but the contract was worded in a way that may not have applied to that. She ended up taking the video down, perhaps due to intimidation. And I'm not saying this is fact. I'm saying what if. So based on what Kiki is saying, if you're running a salon and you're not clear on what it is that is something you agreed to regarding the brand versus something that you're within your individual right as a separate business owner to do, then you could be avoiding certain things out of fear and intimidation from the brand when in fact it's well within your right. For example, taking the tool and showing the tool to someone, letting someone watch you perhaps while you are installing their wife's or their brother's or their sister's locks. If there's not something that protects the process from being seen, and the only thing that is trademarked is the name Sisterlocks, and the only thing that is copyright is the actual manual, that has nothing to do with what you're able to do in your shop. So here's where we go with ignorance is very costly. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is very costly. Wow. Speak to a lawyer if you are unsure of what it does and does not say. An hour of a lawyer's time is worth the money as a business person to understand your limitations with a brand, but also their limitations on you and your business. Only the four corners of the contract matter. Wow. And you did it in, and you did a, ooh, and. I'm just letting you know, Anne. That I'm putting this on the channel. So if you happen to go back and you're someone that reads comments, then you'll know that I'm going to be talking about it. And then we're just going to do one more, everybody. Elizabeth Young, I love you, Elizabeth. You have been with this channel since the beginning. Elizabeth, wow. Elizabeth, you have been on this channel, and I don't think I've ever called you out, but I remember that pretty face anywhere. If I'm correct, Elizabeth, and that's you, and you are interested in a complimentary sample of the Unsi, please text me at 678-438-6442, and I'll make sure you get that. I'm going to be doing some giveaways of the Unsi, you all, over the next few weeks, so stay tuned, because I would love to give some of my loyal subscribers a taste of what that Unsi is actually like. And I'm going to encourage all of you to take a look at the next video or so at the beginning, or a standalone shorter video, probably under 6 or 7 minutes, because I'm going to be talking a little bit more in depth of how to use the Unsi for romance, how to use it to clear energy and everything else. So Elizabeth says, I am looking forward to this series. I took the 4-day training because I cannot stand to be independent when it cannot stand to be dependent when it comes to my hair. I don't like the secrecy when it comes to Sisterlocks or the one-size-fits-all approach to my caring for Sisterlocks. Just my opinion. Elizabeth, I'm with you 100, sister. I am with you. So the training was 4 days. Okay, and you're like me, I don't like to be dependent, which is why I can tighten up my whole head if push came to shove, and I absolutely had to. Do I want to? No. If I have to, will I? Yes, to keep from going to somebody who's going to muck it up, I most certainly will. And the secrecy, it sucks. It's ridiculous. It breeds ignorance about the brand. And then people have to be on YouTube guessing about this, guessing about that, asking other people, do I really have Sisterlocks? They use the tool. I went to a certified loctician, but I only have 300 locks. Do I really have Sisterlocks? These are the kinds of things that the brand should be speaking on, in addition to the fact that it's an at-risk hairstyle, and that everybody doesn't matriculate and navigate through this hairstyle in the same way. And many people are prone to hair breakage for a lot of reasons associated with the style. And I love Sisterlocks. I'm a diehard Sisterlocker. But I'm just saying, we deserve a little bit more. We deserve acknowledgement to some of the things that people are complaining about. And there are a lot of complaints in the arena of Sisterlocks. And you know, when you spend this kind of money on it, you like to know that the brand is behind you, and that if you have a grievance or a concern, that you can air that and expect to get some acknowledgement and feedback. So this continues to be an issue. Continues to be an issue. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Love you for all of your warmth. And I do hope, I'm saying I love the way you show up. I'll let you know that you're in the next video. I love all of y'all. I appreciate you. For anybody who orders the Unzi, whether it's the sage flavor, the vanilla flavor, the orange blossom, the lavender flavor, or the ginger, or the original, I'm suggesting before you order any flavor that you order the original first, okay? That you order the original first, okay? Y'all, when I tell you the pricey, expensive, concentrated perfume oils that are in here, along with the natural aromatics like frankincense, myrrh, and so many other things that you probably don't even know the names of, but they come from the sea, they come from trees, they come from other places, agarwood, sandalwood, these are expensive things. When I tell you all of the amazing stuff that's in here, try the original flavor first. It doesn't come in this. This is what I keep it in around the house. Try the original flavor first before you try the other flavors. It's important to know what the Unzi smells like all by itself. But I appreciate all of y'all. Stay tuned for the commercial. Keep checking in for the giveaway. Sometimes it'll be commenting for the giveaway. Other times it'll be hearing something that I say in the video. Sometimes I may tell you to text something to my phone. All right. So I just appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and I will talk to you soon. I got to get back down there and do another video for my other channel, and then I'm going to go in the kitchen and make some more Unzi. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Adrian. Shout out to Karen. I can't remember the other two names, or the first 5 people to order either the kit or the Unzi oil or the Unzi. You all have gotten some free gifts in the package as a thank you. These orders came in within minutes of that intro talking about the Unzi. So loving all of y'all. And Miss Cynthia, the video that's going to be going up is going to talk about how to explore, love, enjoy, and entice with the Unzi. See y'all next time.
Hey ladies, do you love the way your skin looks and feels? I know I do, because I am using the I Am Melanin Magic Anti-Aging Serum, and at 50, I love the way my skin looks and feels. This blend is bomb. It renews, revitalizes, rejuvenates, soothes, conditions, moisturizes, tones, brightens, and fades, all in one step. So if you're ready to get your glow on, go get you some I Am Melanin Magic Anti-Aging Serum.